2,000 years ago, in the deserts of Judea, there lived a mysterious community. They withdrew from society, lived in silence and discipline, and believed they were chosen by God for a greater purpose. They were called the Essenes, and some historians believe that their ideas may have prepared the ground for the rise of Christianity itself. The Essenes emerged in the 2nd century BCE during a turbulent period of Jewish history. The temple in Jerusalem, once the heart of faith, was accused of corruption and betrayal. To the Essenes, the priests of the temple had abandoned the true path of God. Their solution was radical: leave Jerusalem behind and retreat into the desert, where they could build a pure and holy community. They settled near Qumran, close to the Dead Sea. Their homes were simple stone dwellings and caves. Their lives were centered on purity and discipline. Private property did not exist. All possessions were shared. Wealth, money, personal ambition. These had no place among the Essenes. Instead, they dedicated themselves to prayer, study of sacred texts, and ritual purity. They bathed several times a day, ate simple meals, and avoided meat and alcohol. Many historians see in the Essenes the earliest form of what later became monastic life. Joining the Essenes was not easy. A candidate had to give up all possessions, live on trial for years, and prove loyalty before becoming a full member. Their rules were strict. At sunrise, they faced the light and prayed. Periods of silence were mandatory. Meals were eaten together with solemn rituals, and anyone who betrayed the order was cast out, never to return. The Essenes called themselves the children of light. Everyone else was the sons of darkness. The Essenes believed the end of the world was near. To them, history was a cosmic struggle between good and evil. Soon, God would intervene. The wicked would be destroyed, and the righteous would inherit his kingdom. This apocalyptic vision echoes in the later message of Christianity. While they waited, the Essenes kept themselves pure, preparing for the final battle. For centuries, the Essenes were little more than a mystery, until 1947. That year, a Bedouin shepherd stumbled upon a cave near the Dead Sea. Inside, he found ancient scrolls, preserved for nearly 2,000 years. These texts are now famous as the Dead Sea Scrolls. They include some of the oldest known copies of the Hebrew Bible, as well as writings about laws, rituals, and apocalyptic prophecies. Most scholars agree these scrolls belong to the Essenes. Through them, we gained a vivid picture of their life, their rules, and their hopes for the end of days. Some scholars suggest that John the Baptist may have been influenced by them. Like the Essenes, he lived in the wilderness, preached repentance, practiced ritual immersion, and announced the coming of God's kingdom. Even some of Jesus's teachings on poverty, purity, community, and the final judgment echo ideas the Essenes had embraced long before. Did Jesus himself ever meet them? We cannot know for certain, but their shadow looms over the earliest days of Christianity. The Essenes vanished during the Great Jewish Revolt against Rome in the 1st century CE. Their settlements were destroyed, their people scattered, and yet their influence lived on. The ideals of poverty, purity, and communal living found a new home in Christian monasticism. Their apocalyptic visions shaped religious imagination for centuries to come. Though they disappeared, the Essenes left a quiet but powerful legacy, a glimpse of a world where faith, discipline, and hope for divine justice guided every breath of life. In the end, the Essenes remain a mystery. Were they simply an isolated sect, or were they the silent forerunners of one of the world's great religions? Hidden in the desert, they dreamed of a kingdom of light. And perhaps, in ways we are only beginning to understand, they helped change the course of history itself.